Hello students, welcome to our new video. Our today's topic is flower parts and different types of flowers. In case of flowering plants, the reproductive unit is known as flower. Flower generally derived from apical bud or axillary bud. Now we have to understand the meaning of apical bud and axillary bud. The tip part of plant means this portion. It's known as apical bud, and the axil of a leaf means this portion is known as axillary bud. The violet color indicates the axillary bud portion and the red color indicates the apical bud portion, and this angle is known as axil of leaf. Both apical and axillary bud are called as floral bud because each part of flower is derived from here, and the flower parts are commonly known as whole. Now we have to know that what is flower. Flower is a modified reproductive shoot tip, and the modified reproductive shoot tip, the term is first coined by Wolfgang von Goethe. It bears microsporophyll or stamens or male reproductive part or megasporophyll, that is carpel, or female reproductive part, or bears both. And flower is a reproductive unit of fruit and seed. Now we have to understand the types of flowers. It's a longitudinal section of a typical flower. First, we have to know that what is typical flower. These flowers contain 4 parts, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Androecium means male reproductive part and gynoecium means female reproductive part, and these parts are arranged on thalamus by bract and pedicel. Now we have to understand the different parts partly. First, we discuss about pedicel, means this part. It is greenish in color, generally tube shaped, which is present at the bottom of typical flower, and thalamus is attached with it. This part is known as thalamus. This part is known as pedicel. If pedicel is present, then it is termed as pedicellate flower, and if pedicel is absent, then the flower is termed as sessile flower. So it's not mandatory that all plants or all flowers have pedicel. Now we have to come thalamus. What is thalamus? It is a short abbreviated axis which bears the 4 sets of floral leaves. It has swollen end with node and internode, but they are very compressed and not distinct in nature. Generally, node and internode is found in stem part of the plant, but in thalamus, node and internode are also present, but they are very compressed, so not distinct in nature. So this swollen parts is known as thalamus, which is at the upper portion of pedicel. Then we come to calyx. Each part of calyx is known as sepal. These are sepal. Here we found only 2, but generally in plants 5 or 7 sepals are present. If sepals are separated like this, these are separated sepals, then it is known as polysepalous. Poly means many sepalous or polysepalous. Example as rose. We found polysepals in rose. If sepals are attached with each other, means they are fused with each other, not like this, then it is termed as gamosepalous. Gamo means fused forms. Example, China rose or Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Some flower contain apicalyx. This part is known as apicalyx. It's just a subpart of calyx. It's generally found in China rose. Now, what is the function of calyx? Why a flower bear a calyx? The first function of calyx is protection of flower from the external environment. Then, generally sepal of calyx is greenish in color. So, it has a function that is photosynthesis. Then, it attracts the animals for pollination. If calyx are tightly attached with fruit, then it is known as permanent calyx, which we found in green chili. The calyx part is tightly attached with the fruit part. That's why it is called permanent calyx. Now we have to come to corolla. Corolla is simply known as petal. It might be in different colors or smells, which attract the pollinator animals. If all the parts are attached with each other, then it is known as gamopetalous. Example, datura. If all petals are open, then it is known as polypetalous. Example, mustard flower. Notice that if sepals are attached with each other, then it is known as gamosepalous. If petals are attached with each other, then it is gamopetalous. If sepals are free, then it is known as polysepalous. And if all petals are open, then is polypetalous. Poly and gamo is same, only difference in petal and sepal. Now, androecium. This part is known as androecium or male reproductive part. It is the third hole of the flower. Sepal or calyx is the first hole, petal is the second hole, and male reproductive part or androecium is the third hole of the flower. Each part of androecium is known as stamen. This is a stamen, this is also a stamen, and totally they are called androecium. The swollen bag at the tip of the stamen is known as anther. Anther bears two lobes. This is one lobe and this is another lobe. And these two lobes are connected with a connective. And the connective is sterile in nature. Not the anther is sterile in nature. The connective is sterile in nature. And this long tube-like structure is known as filament. From the anther lobe, pollen grain is generated. If anther lobe is not capable to generate pollen grain, then it is noted as staminode, means sterile anther. This is filament, this is anther. Each part of anther is known as anther lobe and it generates the pollen grain. Now we comes to gynoecium, means female reproductive part. This is female reproductive part. This is the fourth hole of the flower. It is also known as pistil. Each part of pistil is known as carpel. The swollen lower part, means this region, is known as ovary. After that, the long tube like structure is known as style, and above style a rounded structure is present which is known as stigma. In the ovary, here ovule are present which is also known as egg, and ovule turns into seed. This portion turns into seed and the total ovary is turns into fruit. Ovary turns into fruit and ovule turns into seed. If the carpels are attached, then it is known as syncarpus. Means all the carpels are attached with each other, then it is known as syncarpus. If not attached, then it is known as apocarpus. Here the terms are different. Attached means syncarpus, syn means same, so it is termed as syncarpus, and if not attached, then it is known as apocarpus, means separate from each other. Now the term perianth. What is perianth? When calyx means sepals and corolla means petals are not separated. Except this, they are fused together and form a structure or tube-like structure that is known as perianth. Perianth is the summation of calyx part and corolla part. Each part of perianth is known as tepal. And where we got it? We found it in coconut tuberose. Tuberose is commonly known as Rajnigandha and tulip. So, perianth we found in these plants or fruits or this type of flowers. Now we come to androecium. Androecium means male reproductive organ or part of the flower. The longest androecium found in seagrass. The largest androecium found is Mirabilis jalapa, which is commonly known as Sandhya malati, and the shortest androecium is known as Myosotis. These are the examples. Now the term androphore. What is androphore? Androphore is a stalk or column-like structure supporting the stamen and formed by the fusion of filament. So it is the supportive structure which support the stamen part, means the male reproductive part, and it is formed by the fusion of filament. And androphore we found in Passiflora tuberosa. Now another term comes, that is anthophore. What is anthophore? It's also a elongated stalk-like projection, same as androphore, between calyx and corolla, means sepals and petals. This part bears corolla, stamen and pistil. Pistil means gynoecium or female reproductive part. Where we got it? It found in Silene species. We have to remind the examples of flowers because it's very important to understand those typical structure with the example. Now some typical terms in gynoecium. First one is gynophore. We found androphore is the stalk-like structure supporting stamen, and gynophore is just the opposite. It's the stalk-like structure which support the ovary system, which evolved in between gynoecium and androecium, means between the space in between male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ. Example, Caporis species. Then it's a very interesting term comes, that is monstrous development. Which is monstrous development? After generation of pistil, means female reproductive organ, at the tip of thalamus, if thalamus is going under development procedure, then new stem is released with leaves. Example as jungle rose. We understand it through a diagram. We found thalamus like structure. Here a flower is grown up. Then this thalamus goes through it. Then it turns into another stem. Here another flower is grow. Then again the thalamus grown up. Again flower is grown here. This process continues. This type of development is known as monstrous development, and not only flower but also leaves are developed here. So this type of development is monstrous development, which we generally found in jungle rose, not in our common rose species. It's found in jungle rose species. From now on, we discuss about calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, means the four parts or four major parts of flowers. Now we have to define the different types of flowers. Which are they? Till now, we discuss about the typical flower or typical flower. Complete flower is same as typical flower. Oh, the example of typical flower is generally China rose or Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Now, what is complete flower? If all four floral holes, means calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, is present in a flower, then it is known as complete flower. Example, China rose. Incomplete flower. Incomplete flower means calyx and corolla must be present, but either androecium is absent or gynoecium is absent. Means any of one is present in the flower. The reproductive part is one part is present. Example, Cucurbita maxima. Regular flower. Regular flower means which are radially symmetric. Means all parts of the flowers in same shape and size. Especially petal part or corolla part. Example, hibiscus. Irregular flower means one or more members of a whole differ from each other. We better understand it through butterfly pea, which is commonly known as Aprajita. It's very common flower which we found outside our house. So take the flowers and understand it through the definition. Why it is called irregular flower? Why it is called regular flower? When we got a hibiscus flower, we found all the petals are red and they are all in shape and size. That's why they are called regular flower. But in case of butterfly pea or Aprajita, we found one petal is larger than another. That's why this is called irregular flower, because they are not all in regular shape. And the another example of irregular flower is also Pisum sativum or peas, जो हम लोग commonly बोलते हैं मटर. Now, bisexual flower. What is bisexual flower? Bisexual flower means presence of both male and female reproductive organ. That is, androecium and gynoecium both are present. It's also a type of complete flower. So the examples are same, China rose and butterfly pea. Unisexual flower means either male reproductive system or female reproductive organ is present. They are not present at the same time. Example, Cucurbita maxima, because they are also a type of incomplete flower. Another is very important, neuter flower. In this type of flower, neither male reproductive system present nor female reproductive system. But if they are present, then it is sterile in nature, means they are not reproductively capable. Example, elephant foot. Its scientific name is Amorphophallus species, which is commonly known as owl. Another one is actinomorphic flower. We understand it through a diagram. What is actinomorphic, what is zygomorphic, and what is asymmetrical. This is a diagram of actinomorphic flower and this is a diagram of zygomorphic flower. First, actinomorphic flower. Cut a flower into longitudinal section. Then we get as it is two same halves in more than one plane. See, it's a plane, it's another plane, it's another plane, and it's another plane. Whether we cut the flower, we got same part in all section. See, this section is same as this section is same as this section also same as others. So all parts are same, means radially symmetrical. This type of symmetry we known as radially symmetrical, that is known as actinomorphic flower. Now comes to zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means they are bilaterally symmetrical, means flowers are bisected into two halves in only one plane. See, it's only one plane, but two halves are symmetrical with each other. Our human body is also bilaterally symmetrical in nature. Compare with flower and your body with each other, you find the symmetry. This is known as zygomorphic flower. The example of actinomorphic flower is datura or hibiscus, and the example of zygomorphic flower is butterfly pea or aparajita. Now the term comes asymmetrical. Asymmetrical means cut the flower into any plant, either it is longitudinal plant or either is radial plant, but we don't get symmetry in two halves. Here we found symmetry in two halves, here we found symmetry in different parts, but in case of asymmetrical flower we don't found any symmetry with each other. So asymmetry means no symmetry. Example, Canna species. Here are the example, that is Canna species, which is commonly known as Kalavati flower. So here it is, it's a discussion about different types of flowers and different parts of flowers. Thank you for today. See you in the next session.